welcome to the 2018 North Atlantic Fish and Workboat Show and the induction ceremony for the Atlantic Canada Marine Industries Hall of Fame for 2018. My name is Gary Hand, Managing Editor of the Navigator magazine, and you're all here today to view the induction of 3 new and very deserving Newfoundland and Labrador members into the Atlantic Canada Marine Industries Hall of Fame. The 3 individuals were nominated by their peers and are very worthy inductees who have made major impacts in the marine industry's field. But before we get into the actual induction ceremonies, a little bit of background on the Hall of Fame itself. The Atlantic Canada Marine Industries Hall of Fame was developed by the Navigator magazine in partnership with Master Promotions, and Master Promotions puts off this great show you see here today. For more than a decade, the Hall has been paying tribute to those who have made or are making valuable contributions in any marine industry in Atlantic Canada. So the 3 inductees will be going into 3 different categories. The first category is the Mariner category, which recognizes individuals who have made a significant contribution at sea in any marine field. This could include anyone from a captain or a crew member on anything from fishing boats to cargo ships to oil tankers to the Coast Guard and all points in between. The second category is the processor category, which recognizes individuals involved in the business of processing, developing marine products from fish and seafood, including everyone from frontline workers right up to company owners. And finally, the builder category recognizes those individuals who have made significant contributions to any of Atlantic Canada's marine industries without having necessarily directly participated in them, including, but not limited to, industry advocates, organizers, service providers, marine builders, business people, media, government, etc. The Hall is a lasting tribute by way of a website and a public display that is shown at marine shows in St. John's, Newfoundland, Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, and Moncton, New Brunswick, to those who have made or are making valuable contributions in any marine industry in Atlantic Canada. And the lasting tribute, the public display, you probably saw it as you walked in today. There are quite a few names there. Some industry leaders that are still with us, some that unfortunately are not, but I certainly encourage you when this ceremony is over to take a look and read their bios. And like I said, some you'll know. There are a lot there from Newfoundland, but others from Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. So a lot of good contributors to the fishery and the marine industry in Atlantic Canada. But before we get into the actual ceremony, I would like to welcome to the stage the Honourable Dwight Ball, Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Marine industry. Growing up in Deer Lake, I thought we used to always get in June what you say Capeland weather, and I've never seen one Capeland ever roll up in Deer Lake. But nevertheless, no matter where you grow up in Newfoundland and Labrador, where you do business, no matter what you work at, the marine industry is an impact on your life. And in Newfoundland and Labrador, of course, that's why we are here. Just left a fantastic meeting this morning with the federal government, and we announced the Ocean Supercluster, something that we've been working on for quite some time, and over the next 5 years, $300 billion that will be spent on oceans. Well, I was telling some people this morning that when you look at the economy in Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador is the largest oceans sector in the country, and not just the largest ocean sector. We don't only lead the ocean sector by a small percentage point. We lead it because we're 53% of the oceans industry in Canada. So what a great achievement that is, but that achievement is by people that are in that industry, people whose names are on the Hall of Fame. And I did take notice when I walked in and look at the names, the significant Newfoundlanders and Labradors, names that we all know. Everyday names, in our society. So I want to thank everyone for coming out today to sharing in this and joining us in what is really inducting 3 more individuals into the Hall of Fame. People, again, whose names you will know because they've led change. They've been innovators long before the word innovation was ever a common term that was used in our language. These people that we will be recognized today, they've led by growing this sector, by growing this industry. They've been leaders simply because they found New ways of doing things where the opportunities were there, and they taught others. And because of their innovation and their ideas, it meant that the next generation could adapt and adopt some of the measures that they put in place. So ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. I'm pleased to be here today to help with the inductees into the Hall of Fame. And Kerry, thank you very much for hosting this and doing this once again. I'm pleased to be joined by MHA Scott Reed and our Minister Chris Mitchamore as well. So thank you very much. Let's enjoy and let's celebrate 3 new names that will go into the Hall of Fame today.
The first category this afternoon is the Mariner category, and sadly this honor is being awarded posthumously. This year's winner is Cecil Pitcher. Cecil Pitcher was born in 1931 in the small isolated town of St. John's without Trinity Bay. When he became old enough, he started fishing with his fathers, 2 brothers, and his uncle. They fished cod from a trap skip using cod traps and long lines. The family moved from St. John's without to Heart's Content in 1952. They continued the cod fishery there using their trap skips until 1971 when they purchased a larger and more modern 45-foot longer, the Henry and Mary, built by Reuben Carpenter of Catalina. Gill netting was the new fishery now. They fished cod, turbot, and flounder on their new vessel. In 1972, a new opportunity came from the Provincial Department of Fisheries for a new and emerging fishery, the Scottish ring net fishery, which we now know today as the purse seine. A fisherman from Scotland came over to teach him this new technology, and it obviously worked. In that first year, his crew landed 1.1 million pounds of mackerel. This was quite the feat, as his boat and another partner boat can only carry 50,000 pounds combined per trip, and their seine was only 115 by 18 fathoms. And the fishermen here today, I'm sure you're doing the math in your head, wondering how many trips that would take. It's quite an achievement. Always the innovator and looking to the future, Cecil also helped teach and instruct other fishermen around the province this new purse seine technology fishery. It soon became a very important fishery in Newfoundland and Labrador, and it still is today. Cecil and crew soon began catching herring and then capelin using this new method. As a result, in 1976, the need for a bigger vessel arose. It was then that he and his 2 brothers, Edgar and Albert, purchased the 52-foot Miss Barbara Lynn. This vessel doubled their carrying capacity and helped them bring in millions of pounds of mackerel, herring, and capelin. He used this boat until his retirement upon the announcement of the cod moratorium in 1992. He will always be remembered as a bit of a visionary for embracing new technology and new fisheries. He loved all types of fishing, but seining was by far his passion. Cecil was married to his wife Eleanor for 43 years until his death in 2010. He had 2 sons and 2 daughters. His son Brian still fishes today with his own enterprise using a 39-foot vessel to catch, like his father, multiple species. His other son Darren is employed on an offshore supply vessel. His 2 daughters, Nancy and Angela, are employed outside the marine industry. Accepting the award on behalf of Mr. Pitcher is his son, Brian.
This is going to be short and sweet. I'd like to thank the Navigator for bestowing this great honor upon my father, and I'm proud and honored to accept this award on his behalf today. Thank you.
The second category this afternoon is the processor category, and this year's winner, again, certainly well known to a lot of people, is Bill Barry. Bill Barry is the chairman and CEO of Barry Group, Inc., based in Corner Brook. A significant player in the seafood industry, Bill Barry's companies impact economies locally, nationally, and internationally. While the Barry family has been involved in fish harvesting since the 1830s, Bill's vision for new business opportunities has resulted in company diversification domestically and internationally. Today, the Barry Group is one of the largest seafood processing and export companies on Canada's East Coast. With 12 processing facilities in Newfoundland and Labrador and throughout Eastern Canada and approximately 2,000 employees, the Barry Group is Atlantic Canada's largest employer in seafood processing. Very impressive. The Barry Group operates companies in Iceland and has marketing outlets in Russia and China. Their products are sold in over 40 countries. A true family business, 5 of Bill's sons and 1 daughter have begun the 5th generation to work in the industry. Bill Berry has been defined as a risk taker. He has created large-scale operations and continued to expand in an ultra-competitive marketplace and in a sector that has experienced many challenges. Yet Bill Berry has had huge success. His is the most diverse seafood company in Atlantic Canada. The company's overall tonnage is greater than that of any company in Atlantic Canada, more than 80,000 metric tons of wild and aquaculture seafood products a year. Success has been driven by his ability to recognize opportunities and then do what needs to be done to make these things happen. He utilizes advanced technologies and harvests and processes many diverse species. Bill Berry is a recipient of the federal government's Exporter of the Year award and is an advocate for the industry. He is also a proud supporter of his community. He brought the Triathlon World Cup and the Ironman 70.3 Challenge to Corner Brook. An avid sportsman, he is frequently seen swimming, biking, and cross-country skiing on the trails that he was part of creating. The Berry Group's vision has remained unchanged since the 1800s. Bill thrives on maintaining and building not only sustainable fisheries to ensure future generations can thrive, but sustainable communities. His companies are committed to reasonable practices and sustainability with their ocean resources, local communities, harvesters, employees, and customers. As the seafood industry continues to change at a rapid pace, Bill Berry faces the future with optimism, adapting to these constant changes. Unfortunately, Bill couldn't be here today. I think he had some pressing business back on the West Coast. So his son, Matthew, will be accepting his award.
Well, Gary, if you could just hold on for just a second. Thank you. I appreciate your introduction today, and I can't say that is directly relates to my own track record so far, but hopefully at some point I can live up to that. You know, I'd just like to thank everybody who came out here today. It's a great honor to accept this award on my father's behalf, and I hope that we can continue to become a big part of the industry in our great province that has run off of the seafood production over the course of the past few hundred years. So I'd just like to thank everybody again, and have a great day.
The final category is the builder category, and this year's winner, literally, is Byron Collins. Byron Collins grew up in Hare Bay, Newfoundland and Labrador. He worked as a journeyman welder with the Iron Ore Company of Canada before starting Collins Aluminum and Repairs Limited with his brother-in-law in 1980. They started in a 2-bay garage in Eastport, but quickly outgrew the facility, so they started working there. So they worked daytime at the garage fabricating aluminum and stainless steel products for the marine industry, and at night they worked on building their new facility in nearby Glovertown. And I think it's that kind of work ethic is commonplace through almost all of the inductees that we've seen in the Atlantic Canada Marine Industries Hall of Fame today. With a strong industry need for seafood and aquaculture processing equipment, the company started to supply local fish and harvesting plants in Newfoundland and Labrador. Boat building began in 1981 with the first Silver Dolphin aluminum boat, when the first Silver Dolphin aluminum boat was manufactured. The boats were primarily used as pleasure craft and included several models. In the early 1990s, when so many Newfoundlanders were wondering about the fate of the fishery, Byron's focus remained on the longevity of the business. Someone's having a good time back there. His key to survival was diversity, perseverance, and innovation. It was during this time he created specialized processing equipment for the aquaculture industry and expanded the Silver Dolphin line to include custom-designed commercial vessels and additional pleasure craft models. By the late 1990s, Byron's brother-in-law moved on to pursue other interests, and Collins Aluminum and Repairs Limited became Fab Tech Industries. The line had expanded to include boats ranging from 12 to 35 feet, well beyond the Newfoundland, and reached well beyond the Newfoundland and Labrador marketplace. The new millennium brought market expansions, and the silver dolphin demand continued to increase. Buyers from the U.S., Denmark, France, and Canada's north were bringing new and exciting opportunities. Byron continued to grow the business and embrace the increased demand. In recent years, the company adopted lean manufacturing initiatives and is focused on continuous improvement. The Silver Dolphin line is the primary product line, and the company builds approximately 150 boats per year, as well as contracts for pontoon and barge designs. Dealers in Newfoundland and Labrador and Nunavut have become a strong asset to the sales team. After 38 years, Byron is still very active in daily operations on the production side, and his insight and guidance are well appreciated. His family is very much involved in the business, with his wife Linda working by his side since the beginning, along with his son and daughter-in-law Jason and Melissa joining the team in 1999 and 2000 respectively. His daughter Lois, her husband Sean, the family reside in St. John, New Brunswick. His pride and joy are his 4 granddaughters. Ladies and gentlemen, Byron Collins.
Well, thank you, Kerry. Mr. Premier. Believe it or not, I had a speech written up. You just said everything I had to say. Honestly, as true as I'm here. Yeah. But I would like to thank the Navigator for honoring me with this award. And I certainly will show it off. And by the way, it'll be autograph signing at 3. So, thank you, Kerry.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, Byron, if you can stay up. And the 2 other inductees can come to the stage right now.